Hello, darling. Welcome back to another reading. My eyes are still giving the pretty. They're so aquamarine. They don't look like this all the time, but they're just. It's just the combination of the light and my dark hair. It's just ugh. Sorry, just me being a narcissist right now. Also, I'm kind of yucky because I just got back from the gym, but my money piece was so dark before. It's lightening up, and it's lightening up into the perfect, most voluptuous shades of red. Ugh. Anyways, welcome everyone. Welcome to another lovely reading. Let's get into it. This is going to be an extension. It's a standalone reading, but it's an extension from the previous one. If that one resonates, because they show up here too. So yes. Okay, everyone. Welcome back to another reading. I want to start this reading off with bottom of the deck. We have a Two of Wands reversed, and we have a Nine of Wands reversed. I'm starting these off because I can't set them down without it making a mess. So the Two of Wands reversed would tell me immediately right off, plans did not go as expected. And then the Nine of Wands here is like it's someone who's just exhausted normally, right? It's like almost to the end. You did it. Except for it's almost like you got lost in the woods, is what I'm hearing. Lost in the woods. And when you guys hear me say stuff like what I'm hearing is because each of these cards is just a card. There's nothing particularly meaningful about a card. The symbolism is there, right? But when I hold it, it has a thread of energy flowing through it that I'm also listening to and interpreting. Each card is like an individual vibration spirit holds to convey a message. So when you see lots of cards, yes, I am telling a story, but and sometimes I can actually just simplify it with what the cards are here. But I'm a spirit medium, so as I'm sitting here just holding the card, it's feeding me a lot more information than what the card itself represents visually. I don't always need to dig into that because it's often very syncrasy. They use that specific card for that reason. But there's more here if we need to dig into it. But I find that's less tangible and meaningful for you guys as my collective across the board because I want you to see what I'm seeing so you can understand and decompose the process for those of you who want to book private readings or learning tarot all on your own. There is value in digging deeper into the art. With that said, there's a kitty cat being cute. That little, I have an automated laser that they seem to just love. Oh, it's scratchies. Oh, itchies. Okay, let's get into your reading. We have here, to start the reading off, this King of Cups. We love a King of Cups. He's just here, living his best life, jumping out of the water. And so this showed up in the previous reading. This is the person that you've been entertaining, my Empress. If you are an Empress, this is the person that you've been directing your attention to between two people. This is all about this person. This is to hear about them, to understand their situation, what's going on, because it's not super clear on either end, and there's a reason for that. Because this is a part 2-ish reading. The other reading talks about temperance right here. And also the Wheel of Fortune with the World cards both being prevalent. Major Arcana are already heavy hitters, but when they have their little, I call them their matched pairs, they're even heavier hitting, especially when the bottom of the deck is involved and the main theme of the reading is involved. So it means that you're sitting at the end of a cycle, astrologically, energetically, to the point where you're being thrust into the next cycle, and the past cycle is still kind of trying to hook onto you, trying to take you back into its thralls, if you will. But this person, this new King of Pentacles, there is a question here. They are attracted to you. I want you to know that. If that was a question for you, you're like, because this is giving very friends to lovers, from what the previous reading is saying and what this one is like showing, and we'll dig deeper into it. But this person is very attracted to you, but they're stuck. Not stuck because you're not important. They're stuck because they have a choice to make, because they're with the Four of Cups, it says like you were a blessing brought to them too early, right? And you were left your relationship is like still hold on to you like too late, because you're in between shifting cycles. So since you're shifting cycles, you may be totally like, I'm over that other person, I'm ready for this new person. That wasn't supposed to happen. That other person wasn't supposed to screw everything up, but they did. You outgrew the situation and you said, no more, I don't want to tolerate this. If this is your reading, Now, if all of that's resonating, hell yeah, let's keep going. But this new person that you've been spending time with, directing attention to, you've had this conversation. You've communicated with them. This person knows about you. You guys have been spending time together. However, they are withholding making a choice because there's still something's still going on with them, but they're just backed up. We'll get into that, but that's the reading right now. If you resonate with this so far, let's continue. If you didn't, thanks for coming in. Feel free to join in the energy. I'm just going to keep reading as we all come together in a reading. Just even people wanting to participate and holding energy for the reading is great. I definitely support that. But you'll have your clarity if you do or don't resonate with this little first intro, because I'm going to be reading for another 10, 15 minutes. So we have here this Knight of Wands. This person is passionate. Again, Ace of Wands, Knight of Wands. This person wants a passionate connection with you, right? That's something they're actively interested in. They're deeply sensitive, but they might not be sharing all of their emotions. They tend to keep, King of Cups tends to keep their emotions under lock. They're just very mature about their feelings. And with that, that would explain, again, this behavior here, because the maturity with their emotions involves maybe they have been recently brokenhearted, maybe they have other obligations. Something is stopping them from making this choice. Not because you're a choice and it's like, it's so easy to pick between the two. They wouldn't be struggling if it was exactly what they wanted. There's an obstacle in the way. Despite the fact they want to come forward to you, Knights also express movement, meaning to say something is not already there. Temperance is popping up here. This is what this relationship wants to be born into. A Four of Wands, a beautiful celebration, a powerful spiritual connection. It wants to be made into that. And it's giving friends to lovers here with the Three of Cups here. This Three of Cups is very like friends first, lovers comes later. Again, for whatever reason, this person's being held up. Not because they're disinterested, but they just can't show up right now. The Seven of Cups is interesting, and I'm like, okay, Seven of Cups would speak about choices, right? Oh, surprise, choices. This person might have grief. They might have choices. They might not be sure what's like coming out. They're not sure how they want to move forward. You might have caught this person when they were still also at the end of one of their own cycles. And Temperance talks about healing. It talks about alchemy. They could be going through something and untangling themselves from it. They could be putting their pieces back together. They could be recalibrating and resetting. There could be a lot of not ready yet. Don't jump on this. But we can sow seeds, we can water, and we can nurture the flower bed so that when it is ready, we can jump right in. It won't be like strangers kind of a thing. So let's continue. Also, for those of you who wanted to see, these guys came back out. They have a Six of Cups. This is for those, especially for those who are not going to choose their past person, right? Because we have the Six of Cups reversed and the Knight of Swords, or the King of Swords with the Wheel of Fortune. It's like closing out a connection with somebody who is cold and detached from your past, who you may have had a powerful connection with. So continuing on. Thank you all for joining me for this reading, by the way. I'm loving having you here. We have this Three of Pentacles. This person is building. They're building their life. They're building their success. They're maybe even focusing on work and personal accomplishment and achievement. And they have a Nine of Cups. Again, working towards their dreams, and then the withholding. So they might be withholding because they have other obligations. And settling down with a relationship might be too much distraction from their investment. This is somebody who would not just jump into a temporary relationship for their own enjoyment. This is someone withholding passion despite having passion. The passion exists, but they're withholding it out of self-discipline with their emotions. What do they not want you to know, right? They because it's not a secret. Like, they're not trying to withhold it in a malicious way, but the High Priestess always talks about stuff like sacred hidden knowledge. Something what's deep in their subconscious. It represents the moon in astrology. I know it's confusing because there is a moon card in tarot, and the moon card in tarot represents Pisces. It's an illusionary card. But the Ace of Pentacles here, the Ace of Pentacles represents a sort of like a giving, a starting something new, a building a healthy foundation. Like, this person might even just have this on the surface. Like, yes, they have these, sorry about that, thoughts and ideas. They might have these thoughts and ideas about building a relationship with you. They might even be intentionally doing this, but they might also be used to getting faked out or hurt or put through negative situations. So they might, again, want to nurture a friendship and want to make sure that you two are compatible with the life that they're trying to build. And maybe even wanting to work together with you on what's coming. Because we have this Ace of Pentacles offering something real, and we have the King of Wands. Again, this person is probably very spicy because we have a Knight of Wands here, Ace of Wands, and a King of Wands. This person might be just very attracted to you physically, and emotionally just unavailable. And they are like, I don't want to put people through what I've been put through, in love. Because I'm seeing I had a little prequel. There's some stuff coming up. We're gonna look at that. Ace of Swords, so there's some sort of clarity. So when this person warms up to you, if they warm up to you and just come forward clearly about their situation and their feelings and how they're going to show up, Knight of Pentacles, they're slow and steady. This person's going to be taking their time with love. Lovers reversed. Not because this could be multiple reasons. So Lovers has to do with choices. When it's in reverse, it's something isn't working out. So this can be with their feelings and love altogether. And wanting to relate to people, but it's a process for them because in reverse, they may have had a relationship not work out recently, heartbrokenness. They may have also had a long history, depending on your situation. Collective reading, this can be affecting a lot of people in different ways, where things didn't work out, and so they want to be very slow and intentional with the relationships that they nurture and grow, because that's their way of auditing a relationship to make sure that it's growing the way they want it to. They're actively cultivating it. They're caring for it. It's a very mature Knight of Pentacles, King of Cups, an insanely mature way of going about relationships, because this is somebody who does not want a poor relationship. They're actively pursuing success in relationships and love, and they're used to getting failure, and that failure is something they're not interested in anymore. So they're taking their time to do what they can to get rid of anybody who would come towards them that isn't serious. We have this Queen of Wands energy over here. Again, something spicy. I'm also seeing this Death card, a transformation, a shifting, with this Three of Swords in reverse. So the Three of Swords would tell me a past heartbreak. Death would tell me transformation. But I'm also seeing here this King of Wands. One thing I also like to emphasize in this particular High Priestess card, see how she's walking away and she's like dropping things behind her? Walking away, and I'm also seeing closing of a door. These aren't the real meanings, but these are additional meanings that can be present with the presence of this King of Wands and this Queen of Wands here. That bridge. This could be them walking away from the Queen of Wands, which put them through a transformation. Somebody who is interested in them via attraction, not necessarily love. Again, lovers reversed. So this person may have heartbroken previous relationship where they felt very connected to this other person. Again, we're seeing a match, a vibrational match. We're seeing a powerful energetic connection between a King of Wands and a Queen of Wands. And it's very heated. It's very spicy, but it's not necessarily mature. King and Queen of Wands are the youngest of the couples, and this person has been forced to go through a death and transformation. Their heart is still wounded from this past person. It's nothing you did that's causing them to hold back. They have feelings for you too, but they know what happens when they jump into something too quickly. And so they're taking their time to mend their heart properly so that they don't give you a broken version of themselves. But they're also wanting to vet you and build slowly and surely to a place where they feel safe, safe for their heart to not bleed on you, safe for themselves to not be betrayed and hurt again, and safe in a way that is very, very deliberate. If you want this relationship, this is why it has to go friends to lovers first. Seven of Cups isn't like so many choices, someone cheating, right? Seven of Cups over here is explaining trying to navigate through the fog of their own choice making. This person may be used to making bad choices in love and wondering why it never works out for them. because they just don't think about it. They're like, this was so great. Everything was going so good. And then they were just so caught off guard. 10 of Swords, reflecting back to here, this brokenheartedness, this relationship that didn't work out, Lovers reversed. And then we have 8 of Wands. So this might have ended abruptly. This 10 of Swords, 8 of Wands, this might have ended rather swiftly. It might have ended recently into a degree where it's like so fresh. Like they're healing from it, but it's still fresh. So they're not ready yet. You're catching up to their timeline, you could say. And they might have really believed that this was going somewhere. 10 of Cups reversed, 10 of Swords. Like they might have been really, really emotionally invested in this person, and this might have just gutted them. So they really don't feel safe. Safety is really important for this King of Cups. If you're building this relationship with this new person, I'm not saying they're jaded or tormented. Everything here says they're actively taking every right step, but they're actively grieving something that did not work out for them. And so taking your time with them and being gentle with this person because they want a real relationship. They're not somebody you're going to have a temporary hot, spicy situation with. This is somebody that you're being given the opportunity to show up for. And I don't want to sit back and tell you like that this is a blessing, because this is a lot. This is a lot of energy to give someone and to go really slow and to make those sacrifices. But it's a necessary development, growth, and show up for this person to feel ready. But what they don't realize, this person, this King of Cups doesn't realize, is that you have been waiting for the same thing. You might have just come out of this same kind of situation. You guys might be a vibrational match, because no one would be willing to go through this long, arduous trust building, security, responsibility, respect building process with them just for another King and Queen of Wands experience. You know, this person had to go through this to heal, to grow, to mature, to reach the level where they would be good for you. But also, this person is in the process of learning how to choose themselves, love themselves, and not self-sabotage. You're both learning how to love yourselves first and then come together afterwards. This is a profound spiritual connection. And you've really come to connect with this person at a really appropriate time, to where you're being given the opportunity to properly build this relationship. This is fabulous. This is really fantastic. And I see it working out with this 4 of Wands. But it doesn't look like it at first. It doesn't look like it at the start, because this person has feelings for you, but they might be hiding it. Again, not things. The stuff they're telling you is that slow build. The stuff they're not telling you is they really want to come towards you, but their heart is still broken recently and abruptly over something that was very difficult. So this is a very friends to lovers. If you don't want this, you don't have to take it, but this is where you are vibrationally. If you're resonating with this reading, you might get to help heal this person's heart slowly but surely, not out of naivete, but out of them actively doing the work and you holding out your hand as they keep trying to rehabilitate themselves in your presence. And that is a really, really vulnerable, but also a really, really beautiful place to build a heart. But that's your reading, guys. I hope you have a really fabulous rest of your day. I've got to get ready for work. But I always love to do a little reading for you guys. Yeah. 6 of Wands, moving towards better and brighter. You guys might have a little bit of fame seasoned into this relationship as well, which also might be part of their trepidatious situation going on here. Of being like slow to come forward to you because they're working on something, right? But little do they know, again, you're going to help them build. Little do they know you are part of their wish fulfillment. Little do they know they're perfect for you. You're perfect for them. Little do they know, if you're somebody with patience and a kind heart, which you most likely are if you're resonating with this reading, that this is going to be beautiful. Anywho, I love you guys. I hope you have a beautiful rest of your day, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Hanson signing out.